It's been 5 years since I have officially become debt-free, and dang, a lot has changed. Hey, what's up guys? It's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel for all things millennial, money, and debt-free living. If you want to learn how to become debt-free, stick around and subscribe to the channel. Today I'm talking about just kind of a reflection of how life has been different, and also it's been the same since I became debt-free in 2014. I paid off $35,000 in student loan debt in approximately 2 years and 5 months. If you haven't gotten into my debt-free journey, I will drop a link to the video below where I share exactly what happened, how it started, and how I've been able to accomplish this big goal and what's happened in the last 5 years. So I noticed a couple of things that were different now, and then a couple of things that are exactly the same. So I want to jump into that. So the first thing that I noticed that has been different in the past 5 years is I live in a new city. I've been living in San Diego for almost 4 years now, and I used to live in small town Kansas. I lived in a small college town called Manhattan. If there are any K-Staters watching this video, please jump in the comments below and tell me what's up, because I love Manhattan. I loved my time there, but it was time to move to a new city, and my husband got a job out here. I never would have imagined living in San Diego, and I don't think it would have been possible for us to do that so easily had we still been in payments and still in debt at that time. The second thing that's really different is I'm self-employed, and I never ever wanted to own my own business. I just thought that was a lot of work, and I wasn't up for the challenge until I came out to San Diego and until I became debt-free and realized where my passions lie. And I ended up getting a marketing contracting job part-time when I first moved out here, thinking that would bring me back into a full-time career. And what I realized is I actually really enjoyed setting my own hours, and Kyle and I really talked about that and said, you know, we're debt-free now, and we've done so well with our budget that it's okay for me to step into this new self-employment career and really make something of it. So now I can set my own hours, I can travel when I want to, I can set my own fees, and I can set my own income. Really, the sky's the limit, and that's been such a blessing since I became debt-free. Okay, the third thing that is really different since I became debt-free, I travel a lot more, like a lot more. And it is so fun because travel is one of those things that really fuels me. I feel re-energized. If I feel stuck with an issue, or just sometimes, you know, you get that like homebody feeling. Yeah, I just need to go. And Kyle and I have really upped our travel since becoming debt-free. A lot of that has to do with his job. He travels a lot for work, and we've been able to travel hack this because we have Southwest Companion Pass, and we were able to earn that from not only his points, but also we got the Southwest credit card. I will link to a description to the Southwest credit card review below, so you could check that out. It's been crazy because I think in 2018, we had 14 trips that we took. That's insane. We went from New York City to Montana, to visiting our friends in Dallas, to going to Australia, to visiting our family back in the Midwest. It's just really wild that we were able to do all those things because we could cash flow and put more money towards our vacation fund instead of putting it towards debt. So once you pay off the debt, you get to decide how much you want to contribute towards the things that you really love and enjoy doing. And for us, that's travel. Okay, the next thing that's really different is I'm able to afford things more quickly. So back in my debt-free journey when I was paying off debt, I did have goals where I wanted to buy things, but it took me a lot longer. For example, I remember saving up for a 40-inch TV, like my own flat screen TV, for the very first time. And it took me several months to get there. When Kyle and I decided to upgrade our TV, we just decided we have extra money in our budget this month. Let's go buy one that's on sale at Costco. And we were able to do that. very quickly. And then I've noticed like other big things that we've been able to save up for, such as in 2017, we were able to purchase a 2015 Subaru Forester outright in cash. It probably took us about 2 to 3 years to save up for that expense, but it just felt so good that we could do that so quickly and easily because we no longer had debt payments. Okay, so I've talked about the differences between my life before I became debt-free and now, but there's actually a lot of similarities between how I was when I was paying off debt to what I'm doing now. There's a lot of things that I'm still doing the same. The biggest thing that I'm still doing is I'm still budgeting every single month. In fact, I'm still using the exact same spreadsheet that I used back in 2011, 2012 when I started this whole thing. I've just kind of updated the aesthetics of it, but it's still the same spreadsheet. I haven't switched to an app. I haven't switched over to some fancy platform. It's just a spreadsheet, and I've still been tracking that every single month. My beers and budgeting segments on YouTube have helped me stay accountable because Kyle and I are doing that together, so I'm still filling out the budget spreadsheet. And you guys can use the exact same budget spreadsheet that I use. I will link to the toolkit where you can download this for free and start plugging in your own numbers if you like using spreadsheets. Okay, I still monitor my food budget extremely close. Like, I will make sure that I'm under my grocery budget because food is such a huge expense for us, and I know for you guys too. Like, when you go to the grocery store, especially on an empty stomach, oh my God, that can just really crush your budget. So I still monitor my food spending very closely. I meal plan a lot. I cook majority of my meals at home so that when I do go out to a restaurant, I feel like that's a treat. That's not something I do standard every day, and you shouldn't either. Okay, something else that's similar to what I was doing in my debt-free journey is my clothing budget is still $50 a month. So I didn't give myself a raise in this category. Instead, I just put that money towards things that I really cared about. I like looking nice, but I also don't need to be spending hundreds of dollars per month on new items or fast fashion that I'm just going to throw away. So really trying to minimize the amount of clothes that I buy, and I honestly don't feel bad about that. I also have two sisters that are the same size as me, so we can swap clothes all the time, which is really nice. But it's something that I just don't need to increase my budget for. All right, I still also buy secondhand furniture. That's something that has stayed the same. So I actually bought a sectional couch on a buy-sell app for $500, and I was this close to purchasing it from the retail store for like $1,700 until Kyle was like, maybe you should check again and see if that sectional is on the buy-sell app, and it was. And I highly suggest doing this. If you're thinking about buying something brand new, check buy-sell apps first. See if it's available. 50-50 shot. And the last thing that is still the same that it was then and now it still is that I still talk to Kyle about big expenses and vice versa. So we make a point, if we want to make a big purchase, we sit down and talk about that together first before either one of us goes out and buys that thing. And in our house, the rule is anything over $100 we have to discuss first. Anything less than that is okay. And I think that's helped us kind of rein in impulse purchases or things that we feel like we really need, and figuring out that it's actually a want. And that's been helpful for us to open up the communication lines. I have to be honest, guys, like, it's not always easy to talk about those purchase decisions, especially if somebody wants something more than the other, or somebody doesn't see the value in that purchase. It can be tough. And we've had, quarrels about that, but we always come back together the next day and we say, okay, look, is this realistic for us? How can we juggle this and make things work so that the purchase actually is something that we both enjoy and that is going to help us move forward in our finances? Ish. You know what I'm saying? So that's a reflection on the past 5 years of being debt-free, the differences, the similarities. I'd love to know, what are some of the things that you think you'll continue to do once you become debt-free, or if you are debt-free, what are some of the big changes? I want to know. I think we can all learn from each other. and that's 5 years. I can't wait for the next 5 years debt-free, living life.